I'm Chaz Hogan, Australian journalist here in Nyon, ahead of the Champions League group stage draw. Now, Europa League champions Queen of the South find themselves amongst the top seeds, leading manager Aussie Villain to be as crazy as a kookaburra on coke, and thinking maybe his team could go back-to-back in Europe. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Queen of the South. It's Season 11, Episode 2 today, and we are going to be facing Hamilton in the league, and then our first Champions League opponent. We'll get to the draw-off in just a second for that. But before we do that, the window has closed, the transfer window is closed, and, well, we didn't lose anybody else. You can see the sum up of the Scottish Premiership transfer window, and, I mean, we did lose Santos, but other than that, and Hansen as well, other than that, we didn't come out of it too badly. But you can see here, of the four big transfers, two of them were Celtic losing players. And the one that they got in, I mean, time will tell. But, I mean, he's okay. But, I mean, he's 28, hasn't played for Portugal yet. Only 5 under 21 caps. You suspect that maybe he is... Well, I don't want to say too much because he'll probably come back and haunt us. But just generally speaking, if you look at the net transfer spends, the only team that is sort of contending is Ross County. They're the only one that had a positive net spend. Rangers also just down here actually sold more than they got in, which we did as well. So I mean, it's but massively with 50 million. So yeah, I mean, you don't want to look into it too much, but yeah, it looks as though Celtic and Rangers have maybe lost players they didn't want to lose, and it's just a matter of how well they've replaced them. Hopefully not as well as we replaced our players. But that is pretty much the only thing they catch you up on outside of the games, and of course the Champions League draw. So let's go see who we're going to play in this season's group stage. Alright, so Champions League group stage draw time, and we are seeded first, of course, as the Europa League champion, so that is going to massively help us in terms of trying to get out of the group. So the other top seeds are Chelsea, Man United, RB Leipzig, Porto, Inter, Barcelona, and Paris Saint-Germain. So obviously we can't draw any of those. We'll skip through because it's just wasting time otherwise, and we are Group H. So we're going to know who we draw before we draw them, basically. The second seeds, Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Dortmund, Monaco, Real Madrid, Milan, Juventus, and Hertha Berlin. Now, Hertha Berlin have been a decent side. I think they even won the Champions League one year. Of all of those, I was going to say you'd probably rather Monaco. And short of that, maybe we are looking at Hertha Berlin now. We can't get them. We can't get Dortmund. It's going to be a tough one unless it's AC Milan, I would suggest. And it's a 50-50 chance. It is AC Milan. So that's not the worst, I'd say, so far. Definitely, we beat them in Europe last year, didn't we? No, Rangers beat them. Rangers beat them in the semi-final, didn't they? Okay, so the third pot. Now, Roma, who we can't get, of course, we have Milan, Ajax, Galatasaray, Red Bull Salzburg, Newcastle, Braga, Shakhtar, and Lyon. Now, obviously, the dream here would be either Galatasaray or Shakhtar, because those teams tend to be poor in Europe. We probably would like to avoid Newcastle, given that they are a Premier League side. And other than that, it doesn't really matter. Braga are gone. Lyon are gone. It's going to be Newcastle, isn't it? No, Newcastle's gone. So it's Red Bull Salzburg. And again, that's not the worst, and that's looking a decent group for us to get out into the knockout rounds. All right, so the fourth pot teams is Copenhagen, Athletic Bilbao, who we've played in Europe before, and did we beat them on penalties? I can't remember now. Olympiacos, FC Utrecht. Now, FC Utrecht knocked out Celtic in the qualifiers. Sociedad, who we got last year, of course, in our group. Dinamo Zagreb, Antwerp, and Rapid Vienna. Ideally, we'll avoid the Spanish sides. And then outside of that, we'll just about take anybody there, I would say. So just no Spanish sides, please. Antwerp is first out. Sociedad is gone. Vienna, come on, someone get Bilbao. So there we go. So we've got a group, and I'm going to say it is going to be Olympiacos to top it. To top it, I mean, like to finish it off. And that is a group that, I tell you what, if we are not in the Champions League after Christmas, I will be very, very disappointed. And we are... Let me know what you think. Every chance of topping that group, in my opinion. So that is excellent, excellent news. And I can now exclusively reveal that our opening game is going to be against Red Bull Salzburg. So that is, again, very, very exciting news. Now, before we get to that, there are some games, of course, to catch you up on since last episode. So let's start with the Betfred second round tie against Championship Dunfermline Athletic. The only goal came just before half-time when Celino played in Torres. So, I mean, this was a good performance from us. We were just missing the goals. You can see 27 shots, 11 on target. Really good goal from Torres, our two Spanish creative players there, or Spanish attackers linking up. We gave Eddie Johnson some game time there. There was a younger team as well. Campo made his debut at left back. Debut. Anyway, Perez in goal. Klee came off the bench, played okay. But of course, just a reminder, Torres, our Spanish replacement for Santos, he's training on well, so the initial signs there look good. And yeah, took his chance really well, so fingers crossed. Next up, it was back to the league, and we faced Hearts. Angus gave us an early lead. Arkvik crossed for Makriev to make it 2-0. Before Arkvik crossed again, this time for Angus to make it 3-0 inside 20 minutes. Hearts pulled one back. Before getting a second before half-time. And then, thankfully, Hearts went down to 10 men and saved our bacon. The XG is actually misleading on this one. We were very lucky, despite having an extra man, to win this game. It was not a great... We were absolutely cruising as well, and then it just switched after we got our third. They got 2 goals in 2 minutes. The second goal, what a strike that was. And yeah, honestly, if it hadn't been for the red card, almost certainly we would have lost this game. Yeah, we were lucky. And even with 10 men, we were lucky. All right, next game was against Dundee United, again in the league. They are newly promoted, of course. And Alvarez stunner gave us the lead late in the first half. And Muros crossed for Makriev to make it 2-0. Alvarez was sent off before Dundee United pulled one back with 10 to play. And for the second game in a row, we just about snuck over the line. You can see from the XG there, we were in complete control until the Alvarez sending off. And then it did just kind of get a little bit nervy for us, but we did enough to see it out. They actually went down to 10 men themselves very late on, at which point the game just kind of petered out into the result that was going to be. So there we go. And another win, but again, not really completely convincing from us. This is how things look. We are top of the division, 4 wins from 4, but that doesn't tell the true story, to be honest. And Hamilton today are bottom of the league without a point. So you'd hope we'd be able to get the result there. And then you can see, of course, the Champions League group. And that is, I'm going to say, a best case scenario. If we could go through and pick out the teams that we wanted, that wouldn't be too far away from the group, to be honest. Maybe Olympiacos, you could probably find an easier one. Milan is just about the best case scenario from the pot 2 teams as well, wasn't it? And if you go over, have a look here at the Betfred, you'll see it's Aberdeen in the quarterfinal. Dunfermline, was the second round. And yeah, so it's Aberdeen up next for us in that competition. But let's go and have a look and see what we're doing against Hamilton. And again, we are expecting a 4-2-3-1 formation from them. And let's go and have a look at the team we're sending out. Now, we're coming back from an international break, which has impacted selection slightly. Looking at Mihai with a heavy game load. Maybe we go with Mashagi and... let's just go. I've picked this team for a reason. So it's Bursic in goal, Muros, Adu, Toro, and Amoruso. So a sort of a backup back 4. Mihai and Irving are in midfield. Arvik, Torres, and Stanix are... Stankic? I'm not quite sure how you would say that. Anyway, they're the middle 3. Celino goes up top. Bench of Perez, Campo, Razayev, Mashagi, Turpy, Johnson, and Klee. Okay, so we can see the team sheets there. Now, did we sign Muros from Hamilton? I think we did, didn't we? I'll have to have a look. Hamilton have had a couple of really good young players coming through. Alex Neil is their manager. Now, he was their manager a little while ago now in real life, wasn't he? Before he went to, I want to say, Norwich. What do we want to say? Just relax. The result will come. We've been a good run for him. Press meet. Let's go with that. Pump our fists, get out there, make the difference, and win the game. All right, let's see what we can do. Yeah, they are obviously a struggling side. We are at home, so it shouldn't be a problem. Famous last words, but obviously we'll have to wait and see how the game plays out. And yeah. Yes, it's a weakened team, but it should still be more than good enough to get the result here that we need. I'm thinking we might go with the two strikers again in Europe rather than the wingers. I just thought we were a little bit too open. Stanic is there, and he just can't quite get ahead. Look at how big he is. He's a man mountain. And only 19 as well, I think. And Adu, commanding header there. Arvik picks it up. Now he's an inverted winger. He will probably try and cut in. Torres is getting forward. There's the cross towards Stanic at the back post. And that's what we signed him to hopefully to do, was to put those headers in. And that was a good one. It's 1-0 in the 14th minute. My chair feels particularly creaky today as well. But Arvik did really, really well. Cut back in on that left foot. Whipped the cross in. Stanic is there. And that is a very, very good header. A loopy header over the goalkeeper into the back of the net. 1-0 to Queen of the South. We'll give him some praise. Torres looking nervous, which isn't ideal, especially when he's on a booking. We've got the corner. Irving goes across to take it. It could be Irving's last season with us. He's... Oh, Stanic again. He's, was he early 30s? 32, I want to say. 31. Turns 32 at the end of the season. And his contract is up. And he's also just starting to make noises about wanting to move on. So... I mean, he's not good enough to want to promise him game time or anything like that. The issue with him is that he is a Scottish player when it comes to registering a squad in Europe. But equally, we're not gonna keep an unhappy player just to register someone who, if they're playing, something's gone wrong. You know, we're struggling a little bit for players anyway. So I would rather sort of keep the happy dressing room. But he has been a good player for us. I don't think there's any doubt about that. There's a ball looking for Stanic. Can't quite find him. And we go again. Torres brings it down. Toro, sorry, brings it down. To Mihai. Mihai to Torres. Let's see what we can do here. Irving. Irving looking for the run from Emma Russo. It's a good run as well. Cross comes in. It's Celino! And Celino can't keep his header down. I'm not enjoying the body language, I've got to be honest. We've got nervous players, we've got frustrated players. Coming in towards half-time here, let's give them some praise. Celtic are 4-0 up. It's one of these, 11 shots, only 2 on target. It could have been much more comfortable for us, but it's not. So we will say, don't get complacent. We've demotivated some players, we've got faith in you. Torres. There we go. No need to be nervous, mate. You're doing fine. Even the bench is nervous and apprehensive. Let's give them some praise. Come on, boys. You're doing well. Just go and stick a second goal in and we can all relax a little bit. And we've got defending to do. Let's hope we can do this. Ball in. It is not what we wanted. Okay, we are going to make a couple of tweaks here. We're going to just... I keep meaning to get rid of that. Let's just do that for now. And, yeah, Torres is having an off day. What could we do in terms of moving somebody forward? Let's try demand more. Let's fire them up. Celino not having a great day either. And I am getting a little bit nervous here. We've got a highlight just after the hour mark. There's still plenty of time. Defensively, there have been a few concerns. You've noticed, I'm sure, in the recap, we are conceding a few too many goals to my liking. Here we go with Irving. And Hamilton have picked our pockets there. Ball forward. Adu with a good... Bubba Adu's playing well, isn't he? I think he's actually jumped Toro as sort of the third choice centre-back. Emma Russo crosses it in. Down goes Stanic. And that will be a penalty. It looks as though Celino's going to take it. Now, he didn't take a great one against Chelsea in the Super Cup, did he? Let's hope he's learnt from that. Celino. Oh, I tell you what, it's still not a great one, but it's in the back of the net, so we'll take it. His second of the season. Let's maybe just go back to positive now. And let's see if we can put this game to bed. Let's praise them. Try and be positive here. All right, Torres and Toro are going to do my head in, aren't they? One of them needs to leave. All right, so we are going to bring Turpey on for Torres. We're going to move Arvik into the middle. We're going to switch them around, and we're going to use Stanek as I think we're going to try him as an inside forward over there, and just see how he goes. And yeah, we'll see if Turpey can get his name on the score sheet against Hamilton, which I'm sure would please him greatly. Clock is running down. And it's one of these, isn't it? If we hold on for the 3 points, it's absolutely fine, but it's not been a classic performance from us by any means. And, well, there it is. 2-1 against bottom of the league, pointless Hamilton, and it was a penalty that we needed to get the job done in the end. But ultimately, I guess we did get the win, so that's the main thing. So we can see the other results there. Celtic are big winners, and that's the only other result there that really impacts the top of the table. Aberdeen are doing well, so maybe that's a good one as well. But there we go, victory at Palmerston Park. It wasn't, as I say, it wasn't a classic, but it got the job done. And wait right there, guys, we will begin the Champions League campaign against Red Bull Salzburg up next. Okay, welcome back, and some good news to come back to. Alvarez is happy to stay at Queen of the South. He's put this little PSG thing behind him, and he's happy to be a Queen of the South player. So that is excellent news moving forward, because he is not too far away from becoming a club-trained player, and that obviously is huge for us. Again, we're expecting a 4-2-3-1. Now, I'm not actually able to get any opposition reports. You can see there, I don't understand exactly what's happened. Something that I've done over the off-season with changing staff. I'm assuming Jose Mourinho has come in and just taking a bad attitude from everybody. But yeah, anyway, that's a bit of a pain in the backside. But anyway, hopefully I'll be able to fix it at some point. So it's Busick in goal, Rojas, Bukiano, Walker and Ayrton as the back four, Mihai, Mashagi and Alvarez, Bowl in behind Angus and Celino. Bench of Perez, Adu, Amaruso, Arkvik, Torres, Makriev and Stanek. Now, of course, the issue with not playing with wingers is that Makriev doesn't really have a place in the team. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. He's a winger. We're not playing with wingers. Okay, so we can see the Red Bull side there. Now, of course, they do tend to have quite a few wonder kids come through at Red Bull Salzburg, don't they? But I don't recognise any names there right now. All right, what do we want to say to this? We're the favourites for a reason. Go out there. I think we just relax and get the result that we need. We looked a bit nervous when we put a bit of pressure on us against Hamilton. And yeah, it's good to be back in the Champions League, isn't it? So we can see they are playing a little bit different to how we were expecting them to be playing. And you see that formation and think, wingers. We do have Makriev and Stanek on the bench, so we were able to switch to wingers. That's not a problem. Arkvik is there as well. But yeah, we need to get off to a winning start here. Away from home, it would be a very nice game to win as well, wouldn't it? Really set the tone for the group then. And yeah, like I say, this is the group we need to. If we don't qualify from this group, then we've got some serious problems. Yeah, that's as simple as that, isn't it? We need to be qualifying from this group, and yeah, hopefully go a little bit beyond that as well. But let's see what becomes of the game itself. Looking at the way that they're playing, I think we don't want to be exploiting the middle here, do we? Because it's a big block. We've got a corner. Can we find a head at the end? Oh, I thought it was there, but it just got headed away at the last minute. Rojas gets it forward there for Mihai. Mihai, ball in, and it is Rangus, but he's offside, I think. Unless he was behind the ball, he looked to be behind the defender, didn't he? Are we going to check it with VAR? We are. Come on, VAR. Oh, it has been given. Excellent stuff. Yes, we want to proceed with the tactical change. So he must have been behind the ball. Johnny Angus has given us a lead, and let's have a look here. Oh no, because this guy was playing him on, was he not? It didn't even really look close from that angle, but anyway, we're checking the decision, and yeah, so the guy that's gone to close down Mihai is the guy that's played him on. Good finish from Johnny Angus. He just continues to score the big goals in Europe, doesn't he? We've had bids coming in, I think, about 20 million or so from Premiership teams, Premier League teams, I should say, in England. I just don't want to sell him. I just think he's he's as close as we've had to a reliable goal scorer in the series. Conan Ong obviously was quite good while he was here, that short, sweet spell, but I don't think anybody has had the longevity that Angus has had. Certainly at this top level. We had Ali Roy, of course, the first season that almost single-handedly got us promoted. And, oh, Bursic. Well, if this is offside, we can only assume Bursic was raising his hand to claim it, because that was not good defense. It's been given. And it's a clanger. It's a goalkeeping clanger. He's thrown it in his own net there as Bursic, and that is not what we needed him to do. Yeah, I mean, it's never a doubt of offside. These linesmen need their eyes checked. Oh, Bursic. I think I mentioned it. I have been looking for goalkeepers. I'm struggling to find anyone better than Bursic, but on that evidence, does anybody want a game in goal? Because it's not good. Oh, Etten! That was close. We saw him score a few goals like that last season. And we've got a first half stoppage time highlight here. Walker to Mashagi. Back to Walker. Bucchiano on the ball. Forward there for Almarez. Gets it wide for Rojas even. Can we get back in front? Late in the first half. Good ball for Celino. Good first touch from Celino, and the goalkeeper again. He saved Almarez, and now he's saved from Celino as well. Can we get something from the corner? Ball in. It is headed away. And that will be half-time, yes. All right, having seen what I've seen there, I think what we're going to do is... let me think here what we want to say first. Scoreline doesn't reflect the pattern of play. Let's go with that. I think we are going to switch to wingers. The way that they're set up makes me think that... I mean, they're just looking to hang on here, aren't they? We are going to take off Mihai, I think, because he's a little bit more tired, having played in the game against Hamilton. Makrayev and Stanik will come on. Angus will stay up top as a complete forward, though, now. And that all looks good. We don't want Walker as a ball player, though. All right, that looks good to me. Defenders, fist pump, get out there and do it. And we will just keep doing that all the way through. Midfielders, I trust you to make it different. Get out there and do it. And I'm just going to keep my mouth shut for Johnny Angus because everything is looking okay there so far. All right. Let's see if wingers can do the trick for us. Let's get a bit of width into the game. And let's see if we can go and get the 3 points here. Stanik. Wide for Rojas. Rojas back to Stanik. Can he pick out Johnny Angus beyond that to Makrayev? Oh, he's hit the crossbar. He's had a wonderful goal-scoring start to his time at the club, and he almost added another one there. Makrayev now with the corner. Bowl. Oh, it's headed away again. Makrayev should pick it up, though. Back to Bucchiano. Almarez is in space. Is Almarez going to unleash? He goes back to Mashagi. Forward to Bowl. Makrayev. Oh, if he just make a little darting run in behind there, maybe. We're keeping the pressure on, though. Wide for Rojas. Rojas for Stanik. Bowl. Bowl's got space in the area. Thomas Bowl bends it around the goalkeeper superbly and restores our lead early in the second half. It is 2-1 now at the Red Bull Salzburg Arena. I think that's what we're going to call it. But good pressure, wasn't it, from the corner? We regained our shape very quickly and, well, much quicker than the defence did for Salzburg there. And Thomas Bowl left unmarked and made absolutely no mistake with that finish. Now, let's look after this lead, please, guys. Bursic, no more flapping hands, please. Walker goes across there. Mashagi, Etten, forward for Bowl. We've got Makrayev now. I've got a very itchy ankle all of a sudden. Just trying to scratch it with my big toe. There we go. That'll get me through to full time, I think. Then we'll have a proper scratch. Bucchiano. What's he going to do? On the hour mark. Can we get a third? A third goal, and you think that maybe we could go on with it and really put up a bit of a score here. The wingers have definitely made us look a little bit more dangerous, haven't they? There's Rojas getting forward again. He's looking good, isn't he? Early days for him at the club, of course. Almarez. Back for Rojas. Rojas for Angus. Angus down for Bowl. Can someone make a little run? Bowl, he picks out Makrayev. Makrayev, oh, this goalkeeper. He's having a very, very good game indeed. 15 shots, 11 on target, and it's 2-1. Let's try demand more. Andrew Walker, the captain, is looking nervous, which isn't ideal. A triple sub from Salzburg, but the shape appears to have stayed the same. Let's just go back to balanced, or positive, sorry. 15 to play. We don't want to get, too many men forward here. We do have the lead. Alvarez gets it wide there for Rojas. Rojas back for Bowl. We've actually looked quite good like this, haven't we? The reason I didn't start like this is that I thought against Chelsea in the Super Cup, we looked a bit open at the back. Makrayev heads it over the top. But maybe I need to bear in mind that what was the European champions. And so maybe we can play with this width on a more regular basis. Let's give them some praise with 10 to play. And against sort of quote-unquote normal opposition, someone that isn't the champions of Europe, we can maybe get away with it, because we have just looked a lot better this second half. And you wouldn't say, touch wood, that Red Bull Salzburg was looking particularly threatening. But look at that second half XG. Absolutely smashed them. So 2-1 is very, very generous to them. But we'll take our 3 points back home with us and enjoy it. So we did have the early kickoff. Chelsea managed to get their win as well. So hooray for them. But unfortunately, the kids could only manage a 2-2 draw against the Salzburg kids, so that's not ideal from their point of view. But anyway, we've got a lot of youngsters out on loan, so that is maybe a little bit explaining why the kids aren't quite as strong as they could be, because we're there to develop them, and a lot of them are out in the lower leagues of Scotland and getting their development and game time. So there we go. That will do it for today. We have got off to the winning start that we wanted. We're still top of the league. Rangers won their game, as you can see there, so they're on 12 points as well. And if you've enjoyed that, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. We will be back next time. It'll be Celtic at home, a first look at them this season, and then it will be Milan at home in the Champions League. They were the second seeded team, and you suspect if we can get a win there, 6 points out of 6, we'd be looking good to get out of the group, and we'd have a big foot ahead of Milan to top it as well. So excellent, excellent news if we can win that. Anyway, we've got to go win it first. That's for next time. Until then, I'm Aussie. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.